purchasing color match. In a minute we're going to show you how to set it up, but first let's talk about the ProMystic modular receiver. We're going to talk about the ProMystic modular receiver, which is the PMR, and this is the version V4. The great thing about this receiver is that it's designed to work with every ProMystic product, so you only have to have one receiver on you to perform several ProMystic items in your show. Now this receiver has an on-off switch and it has two replaceable batteries, so you can always find these batteries at a local grocery store and you'll always be able to replace them when you need them. The switch is designed to be felt through clothing, so if you have this receiver, most commonly people keep it in their sock. I often keep it right here in my under my belt, and some people keep it in an armband, like a iPod Nano armband, and you'll actually be able to feel the switch through your clothing to turn it on and off, which is a great feature. That way you can turn it on and off, right before your performance, and it's easy to set up. When you turn the unit on, you'll actually get a 1-second buzz. That tells you that it's active. When you turn it off, you don't get anything. In the on position, it is consuming power, and in the off position, it's completely off and disconnected, so you can leave the batteries in the receiver while you're not using it. In fact, these lithium batteries will not corrode, so you can leave these in there for years and years, and they have a 10-year shelf life. So you can leave the batteries in there for a very long time, and it won't corrode your receiver, and they won't go flat on you. It'll always be ready to go. Now, when you turn this on, like I said, you get a 1-second buzz, and then you know it's ready to go. When it's time to replace the batteries, there's two slots in the back of the receiver, and you push the batteries up and out. I'm going to use a pen cap, the end of a pen cap, to push them out through the slots like that, and then you do both sides and you go ahead and just pull this right out of the receiver. Now this is a CR2032 battery. You can get these batteries almost anywhere and they're very inexpensive. You can even buy them online. I always buy name brand batteries like Panasonic, Sony, Renata, Energizer, Duracell. I ship it with Panasonic, so I really like those. I stay away from no-name brands, and I definitely stay away from the Radio Shack brand. I have had very bad luck with those. But I have bought some of these at a dollar store, and they have worked fantastic. So you might experiment a little bit, but try to buy the best battery that you can for it. Now there's a plus sign on the battery, and there's a plus sign here on the receiver. That's how you know how to put the battery in. So the two plus signs are up, and that slides in. You replace both of them at the same time, and that's all that you need to do. Now the lifespan of this receiver is 20 hours on a new set of batteries, and that's 20 active hours. That means when the switch is on, the clock starts, and in 20 hours these batteries will be dead. So if you do a 1-hour show, you should replace these batteries after 20 shows. If you're conservative, do it after 10 shows. If you use it 15 minutes at a time, just keep a mental clock of how often you've used it and then replace it every 20 hours. Now when the batteries do start to go out, the receiver will start giving long buzzes. It might be giving you a signal like bzz, bzz, like a 2, and then give you this long buzz. That tells you that the battery is actually going dead and you need to replace them. And again, you should do it about every 20 hours. If you use this continuously, so if you turn this on, this receiver will go for 10 straight hours. There's a very heavy load placed on these batteries, and when you use it constantly and you don't turn it off like at a big long trade show, it's only going to go for 10 hours. You don't actually get the full 20. You only get the 20 when you've used it like an hour at a time. You'll get to 20, but if you use it in one big block, you get less time. Now one thing you might want to think about is where you're going to keep the receiver. And again, a lot of people put this on their arm or in their belt or in their sock. It works fantastic in your sock. You can really feel it, and it's very easy to turn it on and off. Now something to think about is I do get these back every once in a while, and they're corroded on the inside. And when I open them up, it's almost always due to sweat. So depending on where you're performing, what environment you're in and how humid it is, you might actually consider getting yourself a little plastic bag. And you can put the receiver inside of a plastic bag, and then it will prevent it from getting any sweat or moisture on it. And it doesn't affect the range at all. By having it in this plastic bag does absolutely nothing. In fact, I can put this in my sock and jump in a pool, and it will work underwater, and it won't get wet, so it'll be totally fine, and the water won't even block it. So this is a good way to protect it if you notice that it's getting damp or moist or anything like that. So this is really a great receiver. I hope you enjoy it. There are literally thousands of these out there, and magicians using them every single day, and they're really meant to last. So take care of it, and keep it dry, and enjoy it. Hi, this is Craig. It is now the end of 2017, and I know the video you're watching is a little bit chopped up, but that's because we've put it together over the years that we've been manufacturing this product. The good news is the tags that we have now are brand new, and I'm going to tell you all about them, and they're the best tags that we've ever had to date. In your kit, you're going to receive 5 tags that look like this. There's a hard antenna, which is different than the old tags that had a wired antenna, and they're now done in all white, and there's a little something here on the bottom that will allow us to custom program them for you if you decide that you want them to behave a little bit differently. In a minute, we're going to show you how to put the kit together. The first part, though, is your cup and your magnet. There's a magnet. If you have a silver cup, you'll have a silver magnet. If you have a black cup, you're going to have a black magnet. It's going to have some black rubber on the outside of it. It fits nicely over the bottom of the cup. It does not fit inside the cup. It will not be flush in there, so I would not attempt to put it inside there. It can be difficult to get out. I'm going to hit it real hard on my hand and get it out. Place it right there on the outside. Nobody's ever going to see that. Just a word of precaution, these magnets are very strong. Don't store it next to your laptop computer or anything with a hard drive, because this could damage it. It can damage things in your wallet, and it can also damage your Scan 3D, which is very sensitive to magnets, so keep it away from Scan 3D as well when you pack your gear. Other than that, it doesn't hurt phones or iPads or any of the other Pro Mystic products like receivers or any of the dice or cubes or anything like that, just Scan 3D. So this is your cup setup. It looks very, very free. There's nothing on the inside, magnets on the bottom. I'll place it on my table. Now, you're going to receive a set of markers. There's going to be the 6 markers, the black plus the 5. And we're going to zoom in. I'm going to show you how to install the battery, and I'm going to show you what it looks like inside the marker and how to gaff it and how to wrap your tags. Good. Let me show you how to set up your tags. This is extremely simple to do. The first step is have your receiver and turn it on. Now you have your tags. They're numbered 1 through 5. And you have a battery. Now your tags may have come with the batteries in, it may have come with the batteries out, but either way it's very simple to install them. This is a CR1225 battery. Sometimes they're called BR. This one is a BR1225. That's the size that you need, either CR or BR. Now you simply install the battery into the clasp, and you'll hear, this was a number 1 tag, you'll see that buzz 1 time. If I had put the battery in 2, 3, 4, or 5, I would have gotten 2, 3, 4, or 5 buzzes on the receiver. That's it for the battery install. The tag is ready to go. Now what you want to use is some of this cling wrap. This is called press and seal. And you'll notice that there's one side that's stickier than the other side. That happens to be the side that's up right now. Simply place the tag inside the press and seal, fold it over, and then seal this tag in there. This is to protect it from the ink and the pens. It's extremely corrosive, and getting that ink on your tag can destroy the tag. So you want to completely seal it up, and then what we use is a pair of scissors. Leave a little bit of margin. Don't trim it all the way to the edge, because you still want to protect it well. So leave a little bit of margin between that and the tag. You can leave more than this if you want to. No one's ever going to see it, but that's about what I do. So now this tag is completely ready to go. Let's talk about the pens. The bottoms of these are fairly easy to get off. I use my finger, I kind of wrap it around the edge, and I pull it open. When you seal it completely. You could use something else, like a pair of pliers with maybe some rubber to get this off. I use my fingers to do it. I just kind of push down, and I'm able to open that up. Now, I'm going to take the ink out of this one. This is not something that you don't have to do, but I want you to see how we gaff these. So the ink is basically cut down to about 2 inches in length.
And this is heat shrink tubing that you can buy. We actually buy it on Amazon. And it actually has epoxy coating on the inside of it. So when you heat this up and seal it, it completely seals the end so that no ink can get out. This is the best way to seal it. We've tried all different types of ways to seal these pens, and this is the best way to seal it. You want to make sure that your ink is pressed all the way down inside of there so that it's touching, so that it's constantly inking that tip. Now, when you install the tag into the marker, you make sure that you always put the antenna in first, and it's a little bit on the long side, so you're going to want to make sure that you're going to press this round part around the edge. It's going right down this edge, and there's a little gap in the ink down there, and this is going right down the edge, and we need to go in about that far because this will very easily fit into the cap right there. This is made to fit into this cap. So we'll put that cap in there and we will close it. Now this pen is ready to go. If we place this inside the cup, we should get a signal, which we do. If we remove it from the cup, we should get 4 signals. That's for the number 1. We're going to get more into the signals and what you should get for these pens in just a minute, but for now, you want to set up all of your tags so they look like this. This happens to be the number 5 tag. I'm going to choose blue. It doesn't matter what color you put these things in. That's entirely your preference as to what numbers you want with which colors, and you can switch them later if you want to. So this happens to be the number 5 tag, so let's put that in there. There's our 5 right there, and then go ahead and just finish that up with the rest of your tags, get them in the pens, and we'll go on to the next step. Super simple.
I'm going to place the receiver down on the table so that you can hear it, and I'm just going to go through a very quick explanation of how you do the most popular routine, which is the Picasso routine, which is the drawing duplication. Of course, you can apply this to all the other routines that are in the ebook, but I'm going to show you how to do the Picasso routine. I'm going to use this piece of cardboard, and the first thing you do is draw the picture that you're going to draw in your performance. This happens to be more of like a voodoo doll kind of a picture, and that's done in black. So again, this is going to be the prediction. Now what I actually do is after the prediction's done, I mentioned before, I have no idea what numbers these pens are. So I just pull out a pen. I happen to pull out 5. This is number 5. Now, I want to show you something, is that when I look at this picture, I think of the hair as 1, the face as 2, arms are 3, clothing is 4, shoes are 5. That's how I remember this picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what those colors are, I just know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when I set this up, I draw the picture, I pull the pen out, this happened to be 5, so then I color in the 5th position, which is the shoes. So when I'm done coloring in, I cap it, set it down, I grab the next one. This is a 3, that's the arms. I'll color the 2 arms in, I'll take the pen, I will set it down. Grab the next one. This is a 2, that's the face. I color in the face, set it down, and this is 1, I'll do the hair, put that down, and this happens, this is the last one left, which should be 4. So then 4, I would fill in the body. So that's how I do it. Now my prediction's done, I fully tested my system, and I am ready to go. So that once again, I take the pens and I put them back into the cup. Now I'm ready for performance. I put the black one there as well. Now, let me give you some performance tips when you're doing this. I reach over and I grab the black pen and I draw the picture that I'm going to draw. And I take the black pen and I throw it down to the side. I don't put it back in the cup, I throw it to the side. And I do this very intentionally. I bring the person up, and I don't spend a lot of time talking about the colors and think of one and only pick one. I tend to believe it's best just to kind of rush them along a little bit. I hand them the picture, I said, you're going to help me color this in. I turn my back, I said, please just grab one of the markers, anyone you want. And they grab it, and now, this is kind of a subtlety. You notice when these go back in there, it actually stops. But let me give you this very important subtlety that I use. And it's funny, I've done this to loads of magicians at conferences, and they always play it back in their minds differently. When they grab the pen, I say, just grab any color. And they do, and I start getting the count. In this case, this is 4. I start getting the count, and I say to them, let me know when you have it, because I want you to fill in the body, because I know that's 4. But they already have it out. And I say, just grab any color. Just grab anyone, let me know when you have it, because I want you to fill the body in. To them, they think, when they play it back in their mind, that I told them before they grabbed the pen. But I didn't. I really told them after they grabbed the pen. Next important thing, fill it in. When you're done, we don't want to use that pen again. Throw it down by the black one. So that's why my black one is over here and not in the cup, because I don't want them to put it back in there because it's going to signal me if they do. So I say, throw it down by the black one. When you're done, grab another one. Let me know when you have it, because I want you to fill in the face. This was a 2 I was getting. So that's the pattern that I'm always using. Great, when you're done, throw it by the other one. And then when I get down to the 4th one, they got the 4th one in their hand, and they're drawing it. I don't know what this one was exactly. I pulled 2 out at the same time, so they're doing the 4th pen. I know mentally it's the 4th pen. I know the 5th pen's there. I'm able to, in performance, deduce which one they haven't drawn yet. So they're drawing the 4th one. I say, great. As they're drawing it, I say, let me know when you're done with that, because I need you to fill in the shoes. They haven't even taken the pen out yet, but I know it's the 5th one. I know it's the shoes. So during the 4th one, I rush them into the 5th one, and to me, that it's just a little bit of finesse you can do with this routine. So that's how you do the drawing duplications. Now, you can before your show, you can definitely put these pens into the cup. And sometimes I have to admit, when I've got this thing in my sock, during my show, I might grab, like I say, I go for the black pen. I might pick up this orange pen and get a little signal from it. It kind of makes me laugh because I know they're working and everything's great. And then I grab the black pen and I draw my picture. So every once in a while, I'll move these things around and make sure that my receiver's still on. And I was doing a show one time and I had this on my shoe, up against my shoe, and when I stepped, it shut the receiver off on me. And so my receiver turned off, and I didn't know it because nothing was on. I picked up a pen, I didn't get a signal, and then I reached down to adjust my ankle, and I flipped the switch back on. So I'll do that during my shows. I'll just kind of lift one of these out as I'm reaching for the black one, just to check that the receiver's on. So I hope that helps, and let's talk about the reveal next. Okay, let's talk about the reveal. I have a FedEx envelope here that I'm going to use for this. And here's my drawing. Notice I'm going to put the drawing in there face up. Now the reason I do that is if I ever do a name at the top, I want it in there that way. And I also like pulling it out in this direction. I just think it's better. I don't want to show the face first. There's too much going on here. I want to show the feet first. So I'm going to open up this thing on the bottom, and I want to show the feet first. So I slid it in there that direction. Now, I'm going to have this envelope. I have a lot to say about the Revelation because I've done it a lot. And I'm going to do it this direction. Now you may want to pull the drawing out this way so that they see this nice, prettier face. I want to pull it out this way. I'll tell you why in a second. I'm going to take this thing off, get rid of it, fold that over, and I'm ready to go. When I come out, I put this out into the audience. And when I do the reveal, I bring the person up, I take a look at their drawing, and I stand side by side with them. The reason I have it here is I want everybody to see me pull this off. I want everybody to see this motion of me saying, okay, let's open this thing up, and I pull this thing off and I drop it on the ground. And the reason for this is that I guarantee you, everybody thinks that the trick is in this bag. So there's bubble wrapped bags you can use, there's silver bags, all kinds of fancy bags that you can use. I try to find the cheapest, thinnest looking envelope that I possibly can, because I'm going to hand this thing out when it's done, because they all think that there's something inside here. They think there's 20 drawings in there, even though that's not enough. They think that there's something with this. Through the back of it, who knows, but it's always this thing. So I find a thin envelope, and I tear it open this way so that they can see all this. I very casually reach in there. I buy an envelope that's big enough so this doesn't catch, because if this catches, it looks like you're doing something. And you don't want it to look like that. You want it to look very natural. When I bring this out, I say, well, let's take a look at the two drawings. The one I drew had blue feet, just like yours. Now, I like to exaggerate the odds, but tell them how difficult this is as I'm doing it. Well, the feet match, that's just a 1 in 5 chance. But what are the chances that the body would match as well? Oh, look, I've got green and you've got green. That's like 1 in 20. Which is true. Now the odds really are something like 1 in 100 and something that the whole thing matches. It's really not, it's not that great of odds, but I exaggerate and I say, what's the odds that the entire thing matches? So I do like a 1, 2, 3 count, which I always like is threes. So I'll do the shoes, I'll do this, and then the chances of everything matching, that's like impossible. And then I say, wow, orange arms, yellow face, and look, red hair. It looks just like mine. And now I hand them this to compare it, and I immediately take the envelope and I say, I just hand it into the audience. I mean, everybody thinks it's inside, there's something inside of here, so I immediately hand this away so that they can inspect this thing, and it really adds a lot to it. Now, there are ways to do this where if you've got 2 people side by side, you know, you can be in applause cue. If you're, you know, if I close with this thing, I might pull mine over this side, I might grab the hand, and I might lift up the spectator's hand while they have the drawing in their hand. It looks for a nice applause if you do that. So there's some other things that you can add to that. But the key things are, is I pull out from bottom to top. That's the way I like to do it. Do it very slowly, not all at once. And I use the cheapest, thinnest bag that I can. So those are my tips on doing the reveal and how to do the drawing. Okay, let me give you a couple tips on how to store this. I get this question a lot. You can store it with the pens down. That's perfectly fine. What I actually do though is I store it with the pens face up like this. And the reason I do that is it helps the ink in the pen, and it comes toward, you know, toward the bottom there. And I actually store it inside of the felt bag with, sometimes I put my receiver in there, I close this thing up, and I bring this to my show. And again, I'm very careful about where I put this magnet. If you are worried about that, you need to put it somewhere, what I recommend that you do is take the magnet off the bottom and slide it inside of here. And try to get it so it's running this direction, because you've got kind of a shield, a Faraday shield here and here with this metal. And then the edges of the magnet are not very strong, so you're not going to have a lot of sticking here or from here. You would notice this is actually a much weaker magnet when it's propped up in this direction inside of this cage. So that's a way to store it if you're traveling. You might put some foam in here or something so this doesn't move around, and then put this inside of here. But that's a little safer way to store it if you're traveling with a laptop and you're afraid that it might get moved next to it. Now we're going to show you how to use the 3-pen holder for walk around. And what I'm going to do is cut over to some video that was originally taken for Color Match and let you have a look at that. And explains how to use this and how to do the miniature Picasso routine with the business card. All right, let's give this a try. Hi, how are you guys all doing?
Hi!
Great.
Excellent. You guys want to try a little experiment tonight?
Sure.
Great. We're going to try a little art experiment. I'm going to have you draw some pictures for me.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and draw the very first picture. It's going to be of a person, and it's going to be kind of a head with a body, and I'm going to have you guys colored in, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to draw the head here with the body. It's not a very good picture. Are you guys artists? Because I definitely am not an artist.
Not at all.
All right. Now, do you guys want this to be a boy or a girl?
A girl.
A girl? All right. Let's come up with a name then. Girl's name. Random girl's name.
Samantha.
Samantha with an S?
Yes.
Okay. Samantha. And a last name?
Jones.
Jones? Samantha Jones. All right. Excellent. Now I'm going to go ahead and just hand you this card, and I'm going to give it to you.
Okay.
Anna, okay? And I'm going to have you color it in.
Okay.
And I'm going to put some other business cards down right here that I'll have you guys select later. Now I'm going to turn my back. I want you to select just one marker.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you color this picture in. I'm going to have you color the pants, the shirt, and maybe some hair on this guy.
Okay.
Or girl, I guess. And then I'm going to have you draw some other pictures, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm going to turn around. And when you're ready, go ahead and select any marker.
Any one marker?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You have
Okay.
it?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and draw the pants on this person, okay?
Okay.
Tell me when you're done.
Okay.
And when you're done, I want you to hand that marker to Michelle.
Okay.
All right, Michelle, pick any business card that you want and draw me a picture, okay? Great. Now go ahead and pick another marker, Anna.
Okay.
Now go ahead and draw in the shirt for me, would you please?
Okay.
And when you're done drawing in the shirt, coloring it in, go ahead and hand that to Ginger.
Okay.
And when you're ready, go ahead and pick the last color.
Okay.
Great. Go ahead and just put hair on this person, okay?
All right.
And then if you would hand that marker to Beth. And Beth, would you just draw me any picture?
Okay.
And tell me when you're done. Now, Anna, your multicolored picture that you have,
Yes.
very important. I want you to flip it upside down so nobody can see the colors on it.
Okay.
Okay? And then the other three girls, if you get to take your cards and put them all in the middle and mix them up so I have no idea who had which card.
Do you want the markers back in the case?
That's fine. You can put, or just leave them out. It's fine. Just mix them up so I can't tell.
Okay.
Just leave them out of the case and
You want
Oh,
to
them
the
all
case
up.
or the
I
case?
put them back in.
oh, that's fine.
Okay.
And then just go ahead and mix up the rest of the business cards. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right. Now, before I turn around, your colored picture is upside down, right?
Right.
So nobody can see the colors on it.
Right.
Okay. Great. So I have no idea who drew these pictures.
Right.
Okay, very good. Let's take a look at them. Oh, very nice. We have a rabbit, it looks like. It was green. And it looks like we have a blue sun. And it looks like we have some red flowers here. Nice. Now, let me go ahead and just ask you guys a couple of questions. Let's see if I can figure out who drew which picture. Okay? What is your favorite color? Michelle?
Pink.
Pink? Okay. Ginger, what's your favorite color?
Purple.
Purple? Okay. And
Yellow.
what's your favorite color is yellow?
Yes.
All right, well, we're not using yellow, we're not using pink. So let me just ask you with yellow. All right, I'm just gonna ask you some questions, okay? Yes or no? You can lie if you want, you can tell me the truth. But did you draw this picture?
No,
You did not draw this picture.
I did not. I did not.
You look like you're being very truthful. I don't think you actually drew this picture.
I didn't
You didn't,
draw-
did you?
I didn't
That means
draw.
you either drew it or you drew it. Now, did you get to use your favorite color?
No.
Was it similar to your favorite color? You can lie if you want.
No.
It wasn't similar to your favorite color. I think you lied. You said purple?
Yes.
I think that one is yours.
Yes.
And if this isn't yours,
It is not mine.
then it must be yours. And you must have drawn the flowers. Is that right?
That's right.
Excellent. Now, can you go ahead and turn your picture over for me? Oh, excellent. So we have red pants, we have a blue shirt, and we have some green hair. Now, before we started, and this is Samantha Jones, before we started, I actually drew a picture of myself. It's actually right inside there. Can you guys see that there's a business card inside there?
Yes.
Oh yes.
You guys see that?
Uh-huh.
Look, I'm going to reach in there. There's only one business card. I don't want you to see it quite yet, so I'm going to turn it so you can't quite. There, I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to set it right here. You see it's gone?
Huh?
Yes.
Completely gone, right? Here's the card. Now watch. I'm just going to show you very, very slowly. This. Look at this. My picture had
No
red
way.
pants. And my picture had a blue shirt. And my picture also had, at the very, very top, right just like the
way.
picture you drew. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
And at the very top of it, look, SJ, Samantha Jones.
No way. No way.
Wow.
No way.
Wow. That feels steady.
I'm going to go ahead and go over the close-up version of the routine that I did. What you need is the close-up carrier with selected pens. These are the colors that I used. And you also need 5 business cards, and then I use a regular pen. And the way that I set this up is I draw a stick figure with the black pen, and I write the word name right here, and with a line underneath it or a colon. And it's not really a stick figure, there's a little bit of a body there, and that way it makes people draw fatter lines, because you want this to be very colorful when you get done. If you do a stick figure, they just kind of highlight it. If you draw it kind of fat, they'll fill it in, and you'll get a much better looking picture when you get done. Now the way you set this up is you fold this business card up so that you can read the top of where it says name. Now, in the back of the back of the holder, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of one that's in there right now. Well, actually, it looks a little bit like this. Okay? I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to place the card inside there so that you can just see the top. And then I'm going to take another blank business card, and I'm going to place it on top of it so that it's basically flush with it. And then I usually have these cards underneath here. And then I have this in my pocket, and then I have my regular pen. So when I approach the table and I say that we're going to try a little bit of an experiment, I pull this out, and I just keep these underneath there. I pull out the pens, and what I do is I reach in my pocket and I say, we're going to try a little bit of an art experiment while I'm taking the pen cap off. I reach over, I pull out the one card, I place it right on top, and I put my thumb there. That way they don't really see the card underneath, and even if they do, it's not a big deal. And I go in and I start to draw the head. And I put the eyes, the nose, and the mouth on it, and I start to draw the body, and then I might ask them, so is anybody here an artist? That usually gets a good laugh and eats up just a little bit of time. If they say yes, you say, well, I hope you won't make fun of my drawing, I'm not very good at it, and then I show the picture that I drew. Or if they say no, and you say, that's okay, I'm not an artist either. And then I write the word name on there. Now here's an important part of it. I want to get a random name, and so I'll ask one person, let's give this person a name, and I'll write the name on there. Do you want it to be a boy or a girl? That's the first random thing. They say a boy. Great. Then I point to somebody else, random boy's name, and they say John. You say John, okay, great, and you start to write the word John. Now, I pull the card down so that I can see the one underneath, and I put the initial J right there. I say John. Now we need a last name, Smith. All right, John Smith. Perfect, I write the S there. I say, great. Now, I'll tell you what we're gonna do, and I put this card down. So what I've done is I push this card in so they can't see it. I'll tell you what we're gonna do, and we're gonna color this picture in, and we're gonna use some other blank business cards as well. So now I've got everything out on the table. I've got the picture, the pens, everything. And I think it's important to put this as close to the person that you're gonna have draw the picture as possible. It's not by you. You want them to remember the fact that you gave this to them, because later on the prediction will have been in their possession the entire time. So great, we're gonna go ahead and color in this picture of John. And I use his name as much as I can, try to give him some character. And I say we're gonna color in his pants, his shirt, and his hair. Now what I've done, of course, is I've already colored this in. I actually do it by doing 1, 2, 3, just that simple. So when the green comes out, that's the 1, and then I've got the blue is 2, and then the red's 3. Just that simple. That's all I have to remember. 1, 2, 3. Very easy. So this is sitting inside there. I turn my back, and I say, I'll tell you what, I want you to just pick out one pen for me. Okay? When I'm turning back, I want you to select one pen. I'm going to have you color John in, okay? So I turn around, first pen selected, they color in the hair. Now, the reason I do more with this is that I want more time misdirection, so that when you do the reveal at the end, there will have been a big time misdirection from when you started. If you were just to do the drawing and finish with that, and then say, look, right inside here, that's one way to go, but I think you can add a lot more character to it, and a lot more misdirection if you do this other way. And it doesn't eat up any additional time, because you say, great, are you done? Yes. Hand that to Ginger over here on the side. Hand that to Ginger. Ginger, take any business card that you want. Draw me a picture, please. Great. Anna, pick out another pen. Fantastic. Fill in the shirt for me. Now they're both drawn. Okay, so there's a lot going on, and people are watching what's going on. Great. Hand that to Michelle. Grab another pen. Michelle, grab any business card. You draw me a picture. Next one, the hair gets done, or whatever the next thing is that gets done. Last person draws a picture. Fantastic. Now, very important point is, you need to have this card that's filled in turned upside down. Okay? This has got to be turned upside down on the table, because if it's not, and you turn around, you told them where to draw it, you know who you told them to give the pens to. It's very easy to tell how I figured out who did what. So before you turn around, you say to them, now the multicolored picture, Anna, that you have, yes, it's very important. Turn it upside down so nobody can see it. You can't see it, right? You might even say you can't see through the card, right? It's completely upside down, right? Right. Great. Now take the other business cards and shuffle them up and throw them into the middle of the table. Get two options here. You can have them thrown up on the table this direction, so they're up, so you can do some sort of a psychometry routine on who drew which picture, or you can have them turned face down. If you turn them face down, you're going to be set up in order to do sneak thief, right? So then you can divine two of these, and then you can actually do the sneak thief routine and see Larry Becker's book in order to get a full description on how to do that. The way I performed it was with all three of them up, okay? Now, I will tell you this. In the performance, when I was showing them, I did kind of a lie detector thing. What's your favorite color? Did you get to draw this with your favorite color? You can lie to me if you want to. Probably not the best fit for this kind of routine. It was okay for that performance of it. I think it would have been much better to actually look at the pictures and do some sort of a reading or determination on what kind of person would have drawn each of these pictures. I think that's more impressive for this type of routine. I think it would have been a better presentation of it. What I did though, I think it works, but I think that would have been better. After you've determined those three and you're correct, then you put the focus on the card. Now, Anna, we still have your picture. It's upside down. We still have Sam Jones. What was his name? Sam Jones. John Smith. We still have John Smith. Turn that right side up for me. Fantastic. Look at that picture. Now, before I came up to the table, I made a prediction. Now, this I think is very important, is that I love these effects where you can give them a surprise prediction that was in their hands the entire time and they didn't even know it, okay? It was written somewhere. It was on the bill that's in their pocket. Look, the bill said that I would miss and you'd win this from me. Or open the wallet, and the prediction card in the wallet that you've had tells you where everything else is. I love this type of prediction. So really draw attention to the fact that they've had this the whole time. Before I came up, I made a prediction. It's actually right inside here. Let me show you. Very open-handed, very fairly. You can show them. Can you see that? There's a business card. It's folded up. You can even tell it's folded up. That way it would have made it almost impossible to write. I actually think it's valid. Now, here's the issue that you've got, is that right now you've got this thing that you've written on it. And if it gets pulled out of here, they're going to see the writing on the top of it. That's why I have it turned upside down. I think what might be the best way to do this routine would be, this card's actually getting old, so it's hard to pull out of there. I think the best way to do this routine would be to have a spectator actually remove the card. I'm going to put a newer card in there. So this is folded up, the name's on there, this is sitting inside there. And I say, look, you can see that card, it's right inside there. Can you all see it? So look, I don't even want to touch it, but I don't want you to see it. So I'm going to bend this up. This is the one reason you may ask them not to put the pens back in here, because you want them to get it. Look, you just pull that out. I don't even want to touch it. Go ahead, reach your hand. Can you feel it? Pull it out. Great. Now, set it down on the table. It's totally fair. And really, the slow reveal of this is very important. Look, I want to show you, I actually had the same color pants as you did. And look, I got the same color shirt. And you're not going to believe this, but look, the hair is exactly the same color. And then you can just pause a half a beat and say, and look, at the very top there's some initials. Look at that. JS, John Smith. You can throw it down. And your hands are clean, you're totally clean. Very impressive routine. So I hope you like it, and I want to thank Blake Adams for all of his work on this routine. It was definitely inspired by his Picasso routine, and we actually had discussions about this routine and how to do it. So I'm sure you'll probably come up with some different handling for the business card. This is just one method, but I'm sure there's other ways to use a prediction envelope, or other ways to pull the card out that will give you a better reveal. But I do really like the idea of having this in their hands and having it be a surprise that there's a prediction. Great, thanks. Well, I thought I'd add a little section on Anvardi, just out of respect for him. And I wanted to show you two different kits that I have. One of them is the color match kit. And it is true that I named it Color Match after Anvardi. And this is basically what it looks like. It came with a stand, and there are 5 pens in the stand, and then there's another 5 pens for the performer, and these are for the spectator. And basically this is a base, and it basically links up to one of the two. It's actually this one, you can tell it's much heavier. It links up to one of the 2 clipboards. And this would be a typical routine that you'd perform with this, or the people would perform with it, where you'd put X's on the clipboard and you'd have different objects drawn in different colors. And essentially, it works very similar to Pro Mystic Color Match, with the exception that back then they weren't able to actually put any electronics into something as small as a marker. So all of the electronics always had to be carried in the base. And So of course you would ask the spectator to select a color and draw something on the clipboard, and then the performer would go ahead and duplicate that afterwards. I think when you read a lot of the routines that have been written for color match, it's really come a long way with what you can do with just this information. So this is the color match set. And then I thought that I would show you, well, probably my prize possession here. This is the Anvarti die. And it is essentially inside of this box, if you've never seen one before, although I'm sure you could just Google this and see pictures of this on the internet. And you lift this out, and then of course you can have somebody select any side that they want, and they would place this back into the box. This is made of plexiglass, and these are inserted, white inserted plexiglass. It's really nice, really beautiful the way it's done. This goes into the box, and the spectator closes this. Now, it turns out in this particular case that the indicator, there were a couple different models. In this case, the indicator is actually right on the box itself. So you're able to see what side of the die is up. And that's essentially how it works. And there's some he actually used this entire box. I won't show the entire box, but he used the insides of this whole box to help make the effect work. So this is the Anvarti Psychic die. Thanks.